Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, Text 7. Purusha Sukta, confirm. Okay. Nobody's putting on the board the verse.
Just 1 second, ma'am.
Yeah, I can read from my. Okay, if anybody has a book, they can use the book. Okay, here. Vikrama Burbhuva Swascha Semasya Saranasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Hare Charanaspodam. Vikrama Burbhuva Swascha Semasya Saranasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Hare Charanaspodam. Vikrama Bhuvascha Semasya Sharanasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Hare Charanaspodam. Devotee, can you repeat?
विक्रमो भूर्भुवस्वश्च क्षेमस्य शरणस्य च सर्वकामवरस्यापि हरेश्चरण आस्पदम्
Vikramo Bhurbhuva Swasya Temasya Saranansya Cha Sarvakama Vanasyapi Harishcharana Aspadam. Hare Krishna.
Vikramo Bhurbhuvasvacha Kshemasya Saranasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Hare Charanaspadam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vikramo Bhurbhuvah Swascha Shemasya Sharanasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Haresh Chatna Aspadam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vikramo Bhurbhuvaha Swascha Shemasya Sharanasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Harascharana Asparam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vikrama Bhurbhuva Swascha Shemasya Sharanasya Cha Sarvakama Varasyapi Haresh Charana Aspadam. Hare Krishna.
Vikrama Bhurbhuvarscha Shemasya Sharanasya Cha Sarvakama Bharasyapi Hareshcharana Aspadam. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you very much. Well, devotee for reciting. Doing word-to-word translation. Vikrama, forward step. Bhubhava, of the lower and upper planet. Swa, as well as heaven. Cha, also. Semasya, of protection of all we have. Saranasya, of fearlessness. Cha, also. Sarvakama, all that we need. Varasya, all benediction. Api, exactly. Hare, of the Lord. Charana, the lotus feet. Aspadam, shelter. Translation by Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Thus, the forward step of the Lord or the shelter of the upper, lower, and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of fear. Purport by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. For absolute protection from all sort of fear, as well as for all our needs of life, we must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not only in this planet, but also in all upper, lower, and heavenly planets. The absolute dependence on the lotus feet of the Lord is called pure devotional service, and it is directly hinted at within the passage. No one should have any kind of doubt in this matter, nor should one be inclined to seek the help of any other demigods, but all of them are dependent on him only. Everyone except the Lord himself is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Even the all-pervading super soul is also dependent on the supreme aspect of Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishwapadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Ineni Vishesa Sunyavari Pachachari Patarini Savadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Krishna Das Krishna Nityam. Hare Krishna. It's a very nice verse. Is about the main point of this verse, and the purport is that Krishna is the only shelter, and Krishna frees us from all kind of fears, and we should fully depend on Krishna, by rendering pure devotional service, unalloyed devotional service. And so Prabhupada also mentioned we should not depend on any demigod. And in this way, by serving the lotus feet of Krishna, we'll be protected from all kind of fear and miseries of this material world. And Krishna himself, in Bhagavad Gita 1866, okay, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Moksayishyami Mansuchaha. It said, just surrender unto me. I'm free from all kind of sinful activity. Do not fear. And he said, Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja. Surrender, and give up all kind of religious dharma, anything else, then just surrender unto me. You'll be free from fear, and I'll protect you. So this is Krishna affirm it in Bhagavad Gita and many other places. And sometimes we wonder, we say the lotus feet of Krishna, why we always use the lotus feet? Usually we use the lotus feet for the Guru, like we say, Sri Guru, Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma, the lotus feet, our spiritual masters only shelter, And why we always mention the lotus feet of Krishna? What does it mean? Anybody in the class can answer why we use the term lotus feet? Lotus, why we use lotus feet? I was always very like I was thinking why we use the lotus feet, so I make some research. Anybody want to say anything?
I don't know, Mataji.
Okay, okay. Prabhupada, and I just make some research and just said, that the phrase lotus feet refer to Krishna purity and grace. His feet is like a lotus untouched by filthy waters, remain unaffected by earthly attachment. Lord Krishna present rises above earthly difficulties, just as a lotus flower above the water. The Lord Lotus feet are called Mahapadam. This means that everything that the total source of material existence rests on the lotus feet of the Lord, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Aham Sarvasha Prabhavu. Everything is emanating from him. This cosmic manifestation, which is compared to an ocean of nuisance, is also resting on the lotus feet of the Lord. As such, this great ocean of nuisance is minimized by a person who is a pure devotee. The lotus metaphor conveys his divine illumination and transcendence. Devotees seek to be like the lotus, growing in the face of adversity while being spiritually pure. As a result, lotus feet reflect the essence of Krishna's heavenly nature and urges believers to strive spiritual growth amidst complication of life. Like the lotus flower, his feet are also very lovely. So it is said that the Lord Krishna, has feet like lotus. So we all know that Krishna and his feet, they are all kind of symbol, There's a lotus flower, there's and there's the umbrella, and there's a chakra, there's the conch shells, and the lotus feet, the devotees, they always take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, because and a pure devotee and who are aspiring devotee, they know there's no other shelter other than Krishna. And there's so many examples in the Bhagavatam, like Prahlad Maharaj, he was always taking shelter of Krishna. He was put in so many difficulty. He was he was harassed, he was put in a pit of a snake. He was thrown from the cliff. He was put in boiling water and fire. And he was so fearless. He was always taking shelter of Krishna, and he was always being protected. And another example come in mind is that I've been reading first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, is that all the Pandavas and Arjuna and Kunti, they all were always taking shelter of Krishna. Even they were having so many difficulties, they were able to surpass all the difficulties because of Krishna's presence. So we also, somehow other, we have been given the lotus feet of Krishna by Srila Prabhupada. By taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, our present Guru, the lotus feet of the Krishna, we can gradually, uplift our consciousness that there's no other shelter in this material world, because this material world is full of miseries. Everybody knows that. We've been talking about that, and nobody can be free from fear. There's only people always fearful. Even a little kid, a little baby, is always fearful. And I take the example, I just have a new grandson, whenever you just talk a little bit louder, he started just crying. He just got scared. And whenever you close the door and a little bit louder, bangs the door or something, and he startled. So that every step in this material world, there's danger. Padam padam yad vipadam, and padam padam yad vipadam. So for a person who has taken shelter of lotus feet of Krishna, and there's a nice verse in Bhagavatam 10:58. It says, Samastaye pada Palavam Padam Mahapadam Punyayas Murare Bhavam Buddhi Vatsa Pada Param Padam Yat Padam Nitesham. For a person who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord Murali Krishna, which was the shelter of the great soul, or famous for being the reservoir of all piety, the great ocean of material existence shortened like a pit hole of a calf. And for and for him, the supreme abode of the Lord is quite fit place for living, but not this miserable material world where there is nothing but danger in every step. Srila Prabhupada, mentions this verse so many places, we have somehow or other, take shelter of Krishna because every step in this material world there's danger. So how do we do that practically day to day life, in our day to day life? I'm sure many of us, we've been put in so many fearful conditions. And at that time, what we do, and we are fortunate enough that we take in shelter of Krishna. We take shelter of Krishna due to our, because we took the Krishna consciousness and we have the knowledge. And Srila Prabhupada said, in any miserable position, just take shelter of Krishna. That's why devotees usually, when they go for a long trip, they always ask protection for Lord Nrsimhadev. I remember I did several, trips all over. I always will chant the, Nrsimhadev prayer, and Srila Prabhupada, asks us to do this prayer every day for the protection of the devotees, for the temple, for the preaching mission. So somehow or other, we have always have to take shelter of Krishna. And also, it's a Krishna should be ekantas, mam ekam saranam braja. Only Krishna. And Prabhupada said that also in this verse, we should not depend on any other demigods. And a lot of people, they who is who is ignorance, of the position of the supreme position of Krishna, they will worship other demigods because they do not have the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita. Then Krishna said, if you indirectly, when you're worshiping the demigod, you're worshiping me. And only less intelligent people with, doesn't have enough knowledge. That doesn't mean they're not intelligent. They're less intelligent about whom to worship. They worship the demigod. They worship the demigod for material facilities, for material benefits, and not for pure devotional service. And in this verse also it said that, and in the purport, it is said that and they say that no one should have any kind of dharma matter, nor should one be inclined to seek any help of the other demigods, because all of them are dependent on him only. And another, so demigod worship is really condemned. That doesn't mean that we don't respect the demigod, like we've been talking about it last time also, that we don't disrespect the demigod. But even it said whatever needs we have, we still have to depend on Krishna. Kama, sarva kama, moksha kama. We are free from material desires, we're full of material desires, we have desire for liberation, we still have to take shelter only of Krishna, because Krishna fulfills the desires of everyone. And we say also that everyone except the Lord himself is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Even all pervading super soul is dependent on the supreme aspect of Bhagavan. And we all know there's great features of the Lord, Bhagwan, what God? Brahman, uh, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. He said even the Paramatma feature of the Lord is dependent on Krishna. So I never heard that. And also Prabhupada also said, like in all the planets, everybody, even the upper, lower, and heavenly planet, the absolute dependence on the lotus feet of God is called pure devotional service. Another thing that when we completely depend on Krishna, that means we don't take shelter of any other thing. Well, that means pure devotional service. Anya bilasa sunyam, yana karmana anavritam, anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhakti uttamam. So, anya bilasa shunyam. We should have no other desire, or no other shelter than Krishna. We have to give up jnana, our knowledge, karma, activities, and we have to completely, and the highest consciousness for us is to completely dependent on Krishna. And Yudhishthira also, uh, at the end of his life, after reading first canto, King Yudhishthira, at the time when he wanted to retire, he completely gave up all his dependence on his brothers, on his state, and he fixed his mind fully on the lotus feet of Krishna. In order for us, to go back home to attain pure devotional service, we should completely dependent on Krishna, so that at the time when we will depart, when we leave this body, our mind will be only thinking of Krishna. For so many lifetimes, we've been so engrossed and have so many relationships, so many desires, so many needs in our life. So at least by practice of devotional service, gradually, we will be free from all these desires and can ultimately fix our mind completely on Krishna. And I have one very good example is like Gajendra. Gajendra, he was just, having a nice time with his family and going by the lake. He wanted to drink some water. He's a king of elephants, and he's such a huge body, and he's fearless, and he was going. Then when he came the water, he was attacked, by a crocodile. And at that time, there was nobody. Even all he was surrounded by all his family and everybody. He was so, desperate. He was such in a in a place where he cannot save himself because he was in the water, and he doesn't have the strength because usually the crocodile in water have strength, and he was being attacked, and he was so helpless. He didn't know what to do. Ultimately, because of his previous life, remember that he was a devotee of Krishna. He starts surrendering to Krishna. Then Krishna came, and Lord Vishnu came and saved him. Similarly, Draupadi, he was pulled, and she was pulled from the private chamber and come to the assembly of great king like Bhismadev, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and he was pulled, and they want to disrobe her. They want to the Kaurava. They want to disrobe and make her, disrobe her in front of lots of kings. But what to do, then he thought that, oh, I have 5 husbands, maybe they can save me. He was looking at Bhisma Dev, and Dronacharya, and the Pandavas, and nobody was able to save her. And finally, he was trying just to cover herself by 2 arms, just to save her. But ultimately, she gave up and just put her hand up and just completely surrendered into Krishna. And Krishna saved her, protected her from being humiliated in this great assembly. So we can see that devotees, pure devotees, they always take shelter of Krishna. Whenever one takes shelter of Krishna, there's no loss. There's no loss. Because Krishna, he himself, promises in Bhagavad Gita that he will protect us from all kind of fear and danger. So why we don't take shelter of Krishna? It's due to our conditioned life, due to our contamination, due to things that we are the doer, and due to our false ego, due to our, due to being uh, conditioned by the free modes of nature. So, but there's one way that we can be freed from all this mode of nature and everything in this age. You say, Kalo dose nide rajan eko mahan gun Krishna ya deva Krishna. You know, in this age of Kali is an ocean of fault. There's one good quality. What the good quality is taking the holy name of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada, in many purport, will always say, we should always, utter the name of Krishna in any condition. So whenever we are in any difficulties, we just have to just chant the holy name of the Lord with all our heart. Then Krishna, who is our Paramatma, he understands. He's always there for us. So when we can come to this stage, whenever we change our consciousness nowadays is polluted by so many material desires. Even if we want to take shelter of Krishna, there's so many things distracting us. It's distracting that no. I take shelter of, let's watch a movie, or let's talk to somebody else, to some friend, just go to the therapist, or we just go, we just take shelter of so many other things except for Krishna. But if we can take shelter of Krishna, Krishna is within their heart, and Krishna is surely there to help him. We say we should render transcendental devotional service, to Lord Krishna, and without any desire for material profit or gain. In this way, and no one can help us. No any gods or demigod, because they're all the servant of Krishna themselves. And even Krishna said, and there's a nice verse, is a we always had to put ourselves under the umbrella of Krishna's lotus feet. And in Bhagavatam 3:539, I'm going to read. It's a very nice verse. Pray now.
You said 3:539?
Yeah.
I have.
3:539. Okay. Okay, this is a very nice verse. Okay, this is a prayer by the demigod. It says, Namamate deva pararavindam papanata pupa samma patram yamulaketa yatayo nijasuru samsara dukam bahir Shripan. He said, the demigod said, O Lord, your lotus feet are an umbrella for the surrendered soul, protecting them from all miseries of material existence. All the sages and the shrewdest throw off all material misery. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto your lotus feet. And we say Padara Vindam, again the mention that we offer our respectful obeisance to Padara Vindam, the lotus feet, and we should Prapanam, meaning we should surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. And we become free from tapa, from distresses. And Krishna's lotus feet is like umbrella, just like it's raining so heavily and we don't want to get wet, you know. And if we have like a nice umbrella and we immediately, stay dry and stay protected from the rain. Similarly, if we put ourselves under the umbrella of lotus feet, we will be always, we will always be protected. And say, also this was a great sage, they take shelter, and they're very intelligent because they take shelter, because they become free from the great samsara dukkam, from the miseries of material existence. Yeah. And we can escape material misery. So everybody want to be happy, want to be free from distress. So there's a one solution. Krishna, assured them that he will protect us. So even devotees, I remember when I was in Africa many years ago, or walking in the street at night. I live actually in Kenya back in the 80s, in Mombasa, in Uganda. I visited Uganda, but I mostly live in Kenya. In Kenya, at night, when you walk on the street, it's very, very fearful condition. I think most of them, especially you have an Indian body, what people what will do is that the local African, when they see somebody in the Indian body, they know they always have some kind of gold earring, or the ladies have Mangal Sutra, like gold necklace or something. I remember there's one incident. There was one person was walking, a little bit dark in the night, and a group of local this attacked him and took off all his clothes and took all his belongings and let him go like that. And also there's some ladies who were walking and they just went and just snatched, the gold chain or the Mangal Sutra. So it is a very fearful condition. I remember when I was there, people always like to loot. They like to just steal from you, from other people who are a little bit economically more better than them. In 1981, I was there in Kenya at the temple, there, and there was a coup there, and it was a coup, and the temple was not far from the city, so we can go on the roof, on the roof, and can see what's going on in the town. So when we went up on the roof and see that people were breaking all the stores, and most of the stores belong to the Indian people, the Gujarati people. They belong to the Gujarati people. They were looting all the electronic, whatever is there in the stores. Like recently in Philadelphia, when we have they were manifesting towards Black Lives Matter, you know, and store, they went to the Nike store, they were just stealing and everything. And the same thing, when there was the coup, a coup means, there was some other opposition government, they were trying to overtake the present government. So there was so much chaos, there was so much shooting going on, and it was a very scary, very, very, very scary. And we, that time, we were a group of devotees at the temple in Kenya. We were all very, very scared, especially like they will go, the soldiers, the so-called opposition soldier will go into the Indian people's house. They will rob everything. What they will do? They will tie, or they will shoot the mom and dad, and they will rape. There's so many young girls being raped. and and actually they wanted to come to the Hare Krishna temple, but there was a change of mind. I heard that they said somebody had a change of mind. They say, don't go to there. These are good people because they give us food. So in this way, like Krishna protected us, protected all the devotees. And also another time, they came to the temple. They knew the temple already decorated with jewels and everything. Some of the guests came and saw that, oh, this temple, maybe this deities, they have gold or something. One time in the middle of the night, not middle of the night, sometime during evening they came and they wanted to go on the altar, they wanted to grab. There was one very nice, you know, heroic devotee, you know, he protected the deity and he got chopped in his hand several times and his arm was really, you know, just to protect the devotees. Also, one time in Mayapur, also, the dacoit came and they wanted, to attack the devotees and the deities. And one devotee, I think the Maharaj, I forgot his name, you know, he lost one leg just because he was protecting the temple and the devotees. So, so we can see like at all the time, even there were so many dangers. Devotees are being protected by Krishna. When we were in Africa again, one time we went to do door-to-door Sankirtan in Uganda. At that time, the economy was very bad and people were very poor. Who was there? And there was a group of people surrounded one devotee and wanted to say, why you're coming here to preach? Why you're bringing this Hindu thing to us? This is black magic. They're trying to attack him. But the devotee somehow or other, he chanted loudly Nishingade prayer and everybody, just say, what's going on? And somehow or other, they let him go. So at every step, there's danger. There's danger. And anybody have any experience where they were put in danger, they take shelter of Krishna and they were protected?
Hare Krishna Mataji, did you ask something?
Yeah. I'm just thinking if anybody has any experience of being protected by Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, we have an experience. My Prabhu had an accident, like severe accident. He's, hit by another car, and the car was like, rolling upside down. And whenever just he hit by another car, another driver, he was saying, Jai Nishingadev. And then he don't know what happened. After, like the car was up in the sky and rolling, he said like 3 times maybe. And car was totally like upside down, all the wheels were up. And he said Joy Nishingadev, and he don't know what happened. And then after some time he opened his eyes and he see that he is in the back seat, and all the car like glasses broken, everything was broken. The car was like, you know like really crushed. But he was protected by Lord Nishingadev. And suddenly he also heard in his phone that Hare Krishna Mahamantra was like playing in the phone somehow. He don't know, he didn't play anything. But he was thinking that my Prabhu was saying that maybe if Krishna wanted, if I even die, I can hear the Mahamantra and die. And I don't know, somehow he was like, he was in the driving seat, but he came into the back seat and he also had the seat belt. But I don't know, somehow like Krishna just, bring him from the front seat to the rear seat, and he was like totally fine. And he came by the big back door. People were there, so people just helped him come out of the car, and he was fine. He called me up like after 2 minutes, and he said I had accidents, and I was like couldn't understand that big accident was happened there, but it was very big. But Krishna protect him, Lord Nishingadev like protect him. So I have this
Yeah.
to share, Mataji.
Thank you very much for your story. Nice. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of other devotees also have some nice experience, because this material is full of fear. I, and, and, and everybody is fearful somehow or other, and somehow or other we can pretend that some people who are very, they don't want so emotions, they may say, okay, I'm not fearful. I can do whatever I want. They take this is all due to the false ego. Somehow this material world is full of fear. And how fear arises. So also this is explained in Bhagavatam, 11 to 37. You see, fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as a material body because of the absorption in the external illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turn away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. This bewildering, fearful condition is effected by the potency of illusion called Maya. Therefore, an intelligent person should engage unflinchingly in the unalloyed devotional service of the Lord under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master whom he should accept as his worshipable deity and his very life and soul. And also, Krishna Bhagavad Gita also say, Daiviye sagunamaya mamamaya duratyaya mam evaye prabanyante maya metam tarantite. That's like divine energy of mind consisting of the free mode of material nature is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender unto me can easily cross beyond it. So, and the main point of this verse is to completely take shelter of Krishna, and by completely taking care of Krishna, we will surely be protected from all kind of fear. And the gopi also in the gopi Geet, they worship the lotus feet of Krishna, and they're always thinking of the lotus feet of Krishna. There's one nice verse, it says, Chalasya Praja Charayan Pasam Nalina Sundaram Natate Padam Shrilatina Kurai Siddhatitina Chalilatamana Pandakashyapi. The translation is that when you go to herd the cow in the pasture, our mind is disturbed, thinking of your lotus feet, which is more beautiful than a lotus, will be pricked by striking husk of grain, rough grass, and stone. So if Shila Trinakura, your lotus feet are so soft. So the devotees, they're always meditating on the lotus feet of Krishna, and they always, and also he said, Pranata Devina Papa Karshanam Srinacharunam Sriniketanam. You know, Pranata Devina, and he said, those, who take shelter of the lotus feet, those who surrender unto your lotus feet will be free from all kind of sin. So So what we can take from this verse is that we should constantly remind each other that in this world, as part and parcel of Krishna, we should always be connected with Krishna by taking shelter of his lotus feet. That's the only way we can be free from all the miseries of this material world, ultimately go back home, back to Godhead, and render through devotional service, where we'll be eternally be be rightly situated where we belong. As long as we stay in this material world, we cannot see, and Prabhupada says this material world is in a place for gentlemen. Because we're repeatedly, you know, there's birth, death, old age, disease, all these miseries, nobody can escape it. Nobody can escape all these miseries in material world. Like, all the attachment we have, all the desires that to enjoy this world will never give us peace of mind or happiness. Our only shelter should be to take shelter of Krishna and follow the process of Krishna consciousness, and every day think, how can I make more advancement in spiritual life? Now, how can I chant the holy name of Krishna? How, when I chant the holy name of the Krishna, I am not thinking of anything else, and I'm trying my best to control my mind so that I can fully fix my mind on the lotus feet of the Krishna. Bhaja Hure Manasi Nanda Nandana Abhay Charana Ravindari. I take inside Bhaja Hure Manas, fixing our mind on Krishna. We can free from all kind of fear. So we are very fortunate, to receive Krishna consciousness from Srila Prabhupada by reading Srila Prabhupada books every day, and by chanting the holy name of the Lord, and by rendering devotional service, we will surely, reach at a stage where we can fully depend on Krishna. So there's so many devotees, even in the present age, because they render for so many years, they were rendering devotional service. At the time of death, they were able to fix their mind on Krishna. And they were surrounded by devotees who remind them, to remember Krishna. So this is a valuable gift that we got from being in ISKCON, in the association of devotees, So it's very important for us to always stay in the association of devotees. The association of devotees doesn't mean we have to talk always about mundane things. We should always try to discuss Krishna consciousness, how to help each other's, how can we help each other to remind us of Krishna all the time? Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakti. How we can always remember Krishna and become Krishna's devotee, and finally reach the perfection of life. Just need to go home back to Godhead, and be happy in Krishna consciousness eternally. Any addition or point anybody want to discuss on this verse?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
No additional points. I just was not able to unmute myself when you asked the question about how we felt protected. What I wanted to say was, every time we head out of the house, come back safe, I feel it is because of his protection. Not just when we go out of the house and come back,
Yeah.
every day, every morning and every night. If another day has gone by without any, because we know of dangers that we see and we can understand, but there are so many dangers that we go through that we don't even see or realize. So, in that way, I feel his protection. or,
Yeah.
or prayers being answered.
Yeah, that's true. All the devotees somehow or other, you have some connection, there's always full protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like whatever, sometimes, they're put in so many difficult positions, but still, even they're not pure devotees, still they know that Krishna is there, protect them. Yeah. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to your Prabhupada. When you were talking about some dacoits coming, trying to destroy the temple and devotees, and there was sannyasi that fought them and he lost his leg. I thought I put it on the chat, but I thought that's Bhakti Raghava Swami. Said you couldn't remember his name. Is that Bhakti?
Yeah.
That's Bhakti Raghava Swami? Yes, I think he definitely lost a leg. I heard something to that effect. One of our sannyasis. Unless you don't know him at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your voice not so clear, can you?
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, your voice not so clear?
You can't hear my voice. Is it better now?
Now it's okay now.
Okay. Yeah. I said I put something on the chat that it probably was Bhakti Raghava Swami that you meant.
Yeah. Bhakti Raghava Swami. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Bhakti Raghava Swami. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I met him once, Girinagri. He's very, very nice sannyasi. Very, very,
yeah, the wonderful sannyasi, wonderful devotees. Yeah.
So
and
he's on
lot of
crutches.
you. I think the other devotees are in Africa that protected the deities, Mahavira or something.
I don't know that incident personally. No.
Yeah. From England or something, and I forgot his name. And the devotees, he really, they chop his hand like so many times, his arm, because he was trying just to prevent them to go and snatch the jewelry of the deities.
Yeah.
And there's so many incidents that we were put in so many fearful conditions, like, Prabhu, you have any experience?
Myself? Yeah, I've survived one accident before. The car was totally. It was coming from a Sunday feast program at Harrisburg, and I was driving back to Girinagri, and about 20 minutes or so from the farm. It's an hour drive, 20 minutes from the farm. I I don't know what happened, but I just realized that the car was off the road, and my mind flashed quickly. So this is not the road. Then I heard a very loud noise, and that was it. Yeah, I said, oh boy, I've totaled the car. The first thing I thought of was a Toyota Camry, and then I said, well, what's my situation? Am I dead or alive? Because I know that the subtle body still has senses and everything. So if you're dead does not mean that you cannot perceive things around you. So then I said, well, I have to do a test to see if I'm dead or alive. And I said, I'm going to take my finger and poke the door. And if my finger goes through the door, that's my subtle body. I know I'm gone. If my finger hits the door and it gets stopped by the door, then I'm still in my physical body. So that's what I did. I just hit, and obviously I'm talking now, so you know that I didn't leave. My hand hit the door and it got stopped. And I said, okay, well, I'm still here. Then 10 seconds or so later, there were some people, it was in the highway, so some people were coming. And I was sitting quietly. And when they got closer, because I tried to open the door wouldn't open. This was 2012. I tried to open the door. It wouldn't open. So the people were coming close to me. When they got closer that they could see me. Now I was in the bushes now off the highway. And I just motioned my hand like that. Let me just come on the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So I motioned my hand, come. So then they walked faster. They thought that, the condition of the car probably was dead. So when they saw that I was alive, they came. Then when they got close, I pointed to the lock. Open the door, open the door. Then they opened from the back and the door got open. And I was going to come out. They go, no, 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 sit down, sit down. Don't get up. We've called the ambulance. So then, I didn't know where my cell phone was. We'd flown somewhere. A lot of glass around me. But I was unhurt. Nothing. And so finally, the ambulance came, and I felt so sorry for the problem that I had caused because it blocked the whole highway. The highway was very quiet, and the ambulance was in the middle of the road. So I said, I know that means everybody has been routed, and this is highway, routed somewhere else. And I caused it. So I'm feeling bad, but I didn't say anything. The ambulance came, then they asked me, can you walk? I said, yeah. So they didn't put me on the stretcher. I just walked to the ambulance itself, and they, onto the stretcher in the ambulance. They took me to the hospital. And that's when I noticed that there was a little scratch on my leg, a little bit, that's it. And a little bit of pain too. And I was asking, why is there pain in my chest? Nobody would tell me why. Then they told me later on that my wife came, we had a second car, so she bought a second car in. And then she said, the way you're talking is probably the seatbelt that held you when you're going. And that's the pain that you feel from the reaction of the seatbelt. Anyway, so there was some little chest pain for about a week. And, after that, it was gone. And that was the whole situation. I was it. The car was total. I mean, I was told it hit a tree. And then it bounced and hit a second tree. It all happened at once. And here I am in one piece. So you talk about miracles. I mean, Krishna protects so much. That happens, and so that's my story anyway. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, how did you feel the presence of Krishna at that time? How you feel that Krishna is there protecting you?
Prabhu, you're muted.
Sorry. So it all happened. Thank you. It all happened at once. So it was like, I didn't speak, but there were thoughts through my mind. Yes, Krishna had saved me. I knew that. But still, I was just thinking at first, I had to do my test to see whether I was in my subtle body or the physical body was still there. That was the one that I talked about. I poked the door and my finger didn't go through the door, so that I knew that I was still in my physical body. I thanked Krishna. The next thing I thought of is, okay, how to get out of here. But I prayed, but this is all quiet because the people surrounding me nobody was a devotee, so I just didn't want to say anything that even chanting Hare Krishna, they wouldn't understand me. So everything was just mental. It was just through my head the whole time. But I was very surprised. Oh, one point I wanted to make was I went to my insurance company and talked to my insurance agent. He said, oh, so you're the one, it was announced on the radio. You're the one that had the accident. I said, well, I didn't know about the radio because I don't listen to the radio, but it must be me then. Then she told me something that shocked me. She just said that an hour earlier from when I had the accident, another person also went off the road and that person lost their life. So this is quite serious. And that was very, very shocked to hear that. But yeah, so this was total. I guess it wasn't time for me to go. Krishna didn't want me to leave just yet. But I just walked out of there. I didn't need a stretcher. I walked out of a total car with all the windows smashed and the front smashed into the ambulance. I can't. Anyway, now that you talked about Krishna, I brought it up. I've never really shared this before. This is the first time I'm ever sharing it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. I'm sure a lot of other devotees also have some bad experience with. They were so fearful that at that time, there was no thing. They just think only on Krishna.
Really, Krishna is everywhere, Mataji. So
Yeah.
this is what happened in our life also when Sovara, there was a baby.
Mm.
She was just not even 1 year. We were all going to some mountain resort or something. No, my husband went on work and we went with him. And there, we went up to all the mountain driving, he did it. And when we were entering to the guest house, just the steering was turning round and round. So he doesn't know what to do. Just he entered into that thing and then stopped. That's it. And then when we checked the car, the bolt was missing at the steering thing. So the steering was wrong, going wrong. But luckily we entered into that guest house compound. So Krishna's protection was there. And now Sobarada is here and we are seeing Krishna and we thought of God, that's it. We don't know what we are doing. And my husband said, I don't know what to do. The steering is turning. Where to go? Those are the things, every step, padam, padam, bepadam, and then Krishna will be there all the time. That's really, a lot of things these missionary things, cards we do, we depend on that. But Krishna's protection will be there all the time. We should believe that. That's all.
I'm sure everybody has a story to say, minor one or a major one.
Lot of stories.
Yeah.
Krishna is there.
Yeah.
So we may not see, like Sobarada says, we may not see him all the time, but he will be there. And we should believe on that. The belief is the most important thing. And then we step out of the house and then come back to the home. We don't know how many things we escaped. Krishna must have did that. We don't know. Some we know like this. Some we don't know. So that is the thing.
Yeah, even unknowingly, Krishna is protecting us. Knowingly or unknowingly, we feel the presence of Krishna, or people, they pray all the time. When the Christians, they're always praying, in all the prayers that God, please protect us, please save us. They always like asking for God help, So in all religion, those who, believe in God, they always try, take shelter of God. And so that is very nice if we are God conscious somehow or other, Krishna conscious. Anybody else have anything to add about this verse? Well, I thought thank you very much. And any announcement, Mother Sabaradi?
No, I don't have any announcements. Sunday Feast lecture is on today. The newsletter should have the rest of the information. So please, everybody, drive carefully. And today is Ekadasi. Drive carefully. See you all at the Sunday Feast today.
Yeah, I've been snowing.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.